सुबह सपना पढ़ते मोटो।
So yes, my dear students, today we are going to start Indian Regulatory Framework, CA Foundation, for students planning to appear for 2025 term. Before we begin, I would like to state the plan. So dear students, the concept is the preparation would be like a prayer. What I mean to say is minimum level of distraction. Major effort is minimum time investment and maximum result. Please maintain complete focus. Minimum repetition. I'm not going to repeat. Approximately 65% syllabus only needs your time and attention. For 35% you would require deep explanation. If you want to be a CA, you need to put in your efforts. So are you ready? So dear students, this chapter, Indian Regulatory Framework, is just a touch and go. One more thing, dear students, I will be starting with ICAI modules. I have marked important keywords. So we will go through the keywords. One more thing which I have noted is when teachers are explaining in Hindi, you will find it difficult to write in examination. So I am not going to use this vernacular language, though I have great respect for Hindi. Magar English would be a better option. We will rely heavily on ICAI study modules. As I said, 65% is your time investment. So there will be a lot of things which I'll just simply read along the keywords, and trust me, you will understand them quite clearly. You should not think that I am simply reading. Basically, the idea is I am with you. The idea is we are studying together. You have a friend with you. Since it is a no nonsense study, it will help you in speedy revision. Of course, I will be giving you study notes, and we will cover revision test papers, mock test papers, and previous year question papers. So it would be 100% coverage at minimum investment of time and maximum retention. First you should know the meaning, then types of law, how the law is enforced. What do we mean by enforced? How the law is properly executed. If Papa has made the law that you have to come home by 10 p.m. and you are coming home at 11 p.m. and there is nobody to see, then what is the purpose of making this law or rule that the children has to reach home by 10 p.m.? So this 10 p.m. rule has to be properly enforced. And introduction of major regulatory bodies. What do we mean by regulatory bodies? As we have regulator, fan regulator. In winter you want the fan to run at a lower speed, so you regulate the fan. So basically regulator bodies means bodies who control, such as Ministry of Finance, MCA, SEBI, RBI, IBBI and Ministry of Law and Justice. So you are a CA Foundation student, and why are you studying this subject called law? Why? Because you aim to be a chartered accountant, and chartered accountants, they need to be in contact with many legal matters, and they need to advise their management and clients. So they should possess knowledge about the legal matters. So are you ready to possess the knowledge, dear students? Now, regulatory framework. As we know, the fan regulator regulates. So here, what is the purpose? What is the purpose of having regulatory frameworks? Of course, the purpose is quite clear. Set of uniform rules. Uniform means same for all. So uniform rules and regulations. And what would these uniform rules and regulations do? They would govern the conduct of people interacting with each other in personal as well as business relationships. If you steal, there is a law which would be governed to the person who stole. If he is a rich guy, same law. He is a poor guy, same law. So same law means uniform for all the citizens of the country. Self-reading. The idea is, I would like to read only the keywords so that you can revise the lecture very fast. So the law is basically there to protect the rights of public and to provide remedy for the wrongs. Somebody stole my motorbike. Of course, I have been wronged, and I am happy that there is a law in place which would punish the person who did wrong to me. So what is law? Law is a set of obligation and duties. So, dear student, are you under any obligation? Are you under any duty? Yes, we obey our parents. As you obey your parents, you also have to obey the Constitution of India. So when you obey the Constitution of India, you are basically under an obligation, under a duty imposed by the government. In the family, it is imposed by your parents. In the country, it is imposed by the government and with the help of Constitution. Why? For securing welfare. We all need to coexist peacefully. And when is that possible? When there is justice in the society. What do we mean by justice? The wrongdoers are punished and the good people are rewarded. We would see this in the social, political, economic, and cultural aspect of our vast and diversified country. The main sources of law in India. So you need to respect the constitution. Not only the constitution, but also the statutes, laws made by parliament and state assemblies. So when you cast your vote, you elect the members to the Lok Sabha, the state assembly. Also, you need to respect the judicial decisions of various courts and in some cases established customs and usages, the religious customs, the social customs. So we are already aware that India is a parliamentary democracy. We have our constitution, which is the basis and source for all laws. Number one, respect has to be the constitution, but we would also respect the statutes or laws made by parliament and state assemblies, respect the judicial decisions of various courts. In some cases, we would also respect the established customs and usages. I have been speaking lately about the power of the constitution, but before our constitution, the Government of India Act 1935, which was passed in the Parliament of the United Kingdom. In 1937, Federal Court was established, but later on, the Constitution of India 1950 is the foremost law that deals with the framework within our democratic system. Students, you please read this. I am skipping this. Foremost law that deals with the framework within which our democratic system works. So this line is very, very important. And our laws are made for the people, by the people. How it is by the people? Because we elect our representative by casting our vote. The Constitution also provides for and protects certain fundamental rights of citizens. It also lays down fundamental duties as well as powers and duties of governments. So not only the citizens, also the governments, both central and state. We have Prime Minister, we have Chief Minister. Chief Minister belongs to the various states and Prime Minister belongs to the country. So we are aware of this. The people who wrote the Constitution decided to divide the law making power between the central government and various state governments. So the power will lie with the central government and also with various state governments. This is to avoid dictatorship. Like Hitler was a dictator, जो मैं बोलूँगा वही होगा, right? So the people who wrote the Constitution, they divided the power. So the Indian Constitution has three lists. So the power has been divided via three lists. The central list will give the power to the central government. The state list to the state government. The joint list to both. Income tax is a central subject. So if I may ask you, dear students, income tax would belong to which list? Income tax would belong to central list. Absolutely correct. But when we discuss about levy of stamp duty, what is stamp duty? When you purchase any property, you have to pay the stamp duty. So stamp duty is the matter for both. We also have matters for which both central as well as state governments can pass laws. Levy of stamp duty is such an example. Now, what is the process of making a law? When a law is proposed, Law is proposed. So let me ask you, when something is proposed, it is proposed, but is it yet a law? No. Today you are not married, you are proposing someone. So right now your status is unmarried. But once it is accepted, your proposal is accepted, then you are converted into a status called married. So similarly, dear students, when a law is proposed, where will the law be proposed? Of course, in the parliament. In the parliament. It is called a bill. Now, there would be discussion, there would be debate. As when you propose marriage to someone, there would be discussion. How much do you earn? Should I give my daughter? So there will be discussion and debates. The law is passed in the Lok Sabha. So after discussion and debate, the law is passed in the Lok Sabha. Shall we also replace it by the bill is passed in the Lok Sabha? Because when it is proposed, it is called the bill. So we can interchange this. The law or the bill is passed in the Lok Sabha. Thereafter, it has to be passed in the Rajya Sabha. It then has to obtain the assent of the President of India. So it is Lok Sabha, it is Rajya Sabha, then the President. Finally, the law will be notified by the government in the publication called the Official Gazette of India. So after President, it is Official Gazette publication. The law will become applicable. The law will become applicable. The marriage card is there. Okay. It states that marriage will take place on 27/12. So you will become husband after marriage. The card was received by me on 20th December. So the law will become applicable from the date mentioned in the notification as the effective date. Once it is notified and effective, it is called Act of Parliament. Why Act of Parliament? Why Act of Parliament? Because the whole action has been taken in the Parliament, which means Parliament has the power of making law. But before law, it will be called as Dil. Oh, no, sir, it's not Dil, it is Bill. Okay, fine. So it will be called Bill. So, dear students, we stop here today. We would like to carry on at a slow pace. Just enjoy. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye bye.